Hello everybody. I wanted to make you aware of a Wells Fargo survey that came out today. It says 80 may be the new 65 for retirement age. Now I know most of you have heard that 60 is the new 40, so now they're touting 80 is the new 65. Well, thanks to the Federal Reserve and thanks to inflation, this may be the case, unfortunately. They questioned 1,500 Americans aged 25 to 75 by phone. Harris Interactive Incorporated did this between August and September. What they found out was 76% of the people said that they think they're going to have to work in their retirement years. 25% said they think they're going to have to work nonstop until they're 80 because they don't have enough money saved. I mean, the main reason that I picked out this article, that I wanted to do a video on it, was what 50% of the people said. This, to me, is the key to the whole article. The whole reason why this would happen, this is it right here. 45% of respondents said that if they were given $5,000, they would buy a certificate of deposit. Now, that just totally blows me away. How are you going to take $5,000 and get a CD? A 1-year CD is paying 0.35. That's less than half of 1%. And a 5-year CD is paying 1.19. How could you possibly take $5,000 and put it in a CD in the bank? That's the main problem with people. They're thinking we're back in 1980 when you could get 8 or 9% on a CD. But things have changed. You need to be in precious metals now. You don't want to be in CDs in the bank. But that's the mindset. I mean, here, I'm going to give you a little clip of what I think is happened. It would be any normal household. This could be the conversation that goes on, because this, to me, is the way that people think about precious metals. Here, I'll go ahead and I'll jump to this now. Hey, Martha, you know we got them CDs coming due in the bank. Maybe we should do something with that money. You know, I was listening to this fella on YouTube, and he was telling me about some gold and silver. We could get some gold and silver, and maybe we could help fight this inflation stuff they keep talking about, things inflating. Are you talking about silver and gold coins and stuff like that, George? Yeah, we could get some bars, coins, whatever we want. We just need to get some money. This feller's saying we got to get some money and we got to put it into something that's other than than the CDs in the bank, because it says they're not doing such a wise thing there. Now, don't get any wise ideas, George. Don't be taking our savings and speculating. Not going to speculate on our savings now, are you, George? Next thing I know, you're going to be telling me you want to get some baseball cards and fine china and stuff like that. So that, to me, is how it might play out in any normal household of, just your average Americans. I mean, I could see that happen in a lot of different households. Another thing I wanted to point out was, the vice president of the Wells Fargo Institutional Retirement Trust, in this article here about the survey, she says that even though there's a lack of confidence, I don't know that they see there's a good alternative. Well, of course, Lori, there's a good alternative. How about gold, which is up 25% year to date? Or even silver, which has been hammered down twice, is still up 2% year to date. It's not down this year. It still beats that 0.5% CD. Or it's up 20% over the last 52 weeks. Robert Kiyosaki always says that savers are losers. And if you have your money in a CD in the bank, you're losing big time. I mean, let's just look at what John Williams says of shadowstats.com. 3.9% is the current CPI. And that's what the government's bogus number, that they keep changing the way that they calculate it all the time. they put in hedonic adjustments and they do substitutions. I've gone over the CPI in past videos of how they manipulate it down to where they can get to the lowest number. But if they calculate current inflation the way they calculated in 1990, it's 7% right now. And the way they calculated in 1980, if they did it that way, it's 11% right now. You have to get 11% return just to break even with the inflation that we're having right now. Gold and silver, in my opinion, is the best way to fight inflation. There are some other ways, but that's the easiest and best way for your average Joe is to pick up some physical silver coins or some gold coins. That's the easiest way to fight it. So the reason the survey came up with 80 being the new 65 is because of inflation. In my opinion, the number one reason is inflation. And here's a quick story explaining why that's so. Let's say back in 1925, we had two men. One of them decided to take 30 gold coins and put in a little metal box under the floorboard and hide them away for future generations. And another gentleman took $600 paper money and did the same thing in his house. Both those men at that time could buy a roadster car with the $600. So we move forward to today, 2011, and if someone was to find those boxes, the one who finds the box of the man who was smart enough to put away the gold coins for future generations will be able to take those coins and go buy a brand new Corvette. But the man who found the box with the paper money, he'd be lucky to be able to get a tune-up for the Corvette. That's the difference. I mean, it's a world of difference. And that difference has been stolen from me and you and our ancestors over the last 100 years by the Federal Reserve, private Federal Reserve Bank. Who's no more federal than Federal Express. That's the main issue. That's the main problem. We got to find ways to fight inflation, and gold and silver, in my opinion, are the best ways to do that.